Hello everybody, my name is Anna, and on today's video, I'm going to be talking about the newest episode of The Mandalorian. Now, I will be doing some Mandalorian reviews weekly as The Mandalorian is back, and it's a phenomenal show, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, as you can see with Chewbacca here, and one of my baby Yodas in the background. Anyway, I have decided to do, as long as The Mandalorian's on, to do a weekly recap and a review of what I thought of the episode. Now, I know not everyone likes Star Wars or watches The Mandalorian or they wait until it all comes out at once, so I will be throwing in other videos throughout the week as well. This week will probably just be next one, and then next week I am planning to do a Xbox Series X unboxing whenever that comes in, which I hope is launch day. But I will just be throwing other videos here and there, just so if you're not interested in these, there is still something else to watch. So, without further ado, here we go. Now, this past Friday, October 30th, The Mandalorian Season 2 premiered. Now, it was labeled Chapter 9 as it's just continuing the story from last season. Now, last season, if you forgot, he found the child, which is the bounty, which he's trying to now return to his family. He's met some other people along the way, and Moff Gideon came out at the end with the Darksaber. So that's pretty cool. However, we're not going through that in this episode. Also, there will be spoilers in this. So if you have not watched the episode or are waiting, I would say turn it off now and come back after you watch the episode. Anyway, here we go. Again, I guess. Yeah. So in this episode, he makes his way back to Tatooine. He actually stops by the one curly-haired lady again, and you can kind of see him respecting droids. Because he's on his way to find another Mandalorian, and he heard it was on Tatooine. So he makes his way through, and the curly-haired lady gets all freaked out about Baby Yoda, so glad he's safe. Honestly, though, aren't we all glad he's safe? And then just stuff like that, having a ship repaired helped out, and on his way to Tatooine, where is a familiar place for many Star Wars fans, and the franchise alone. Anyway, once we get to Tatooine, there we find out that Boba Fett's armor is being used. Boba Fett. What? How? So, Mando sees this guy, realizes he's not a Mandalorian, but just instead an impersonator, just wearing the armor, using it to help the town. So, he does this, and they basically team up to help find this and fight this big worm thing in the ground. There was a lot of memes about the Alaskan bullworm from SpongeBob. If you've seen that episode or seen the memes, you'll know what I'll be talking about because it's essentially the same thing. So it's kind of a side mission for him, but he teams up with the Marshal, who's wearing Boba Fett's armor, none other than Timothy Olyphant, who is phenomenal, and he was great in this role. And they also team up with the Sand People, and they speak Tusken, and it's very cool because they incorporate sign language into it, which is awesome. But Mando definitely tries to keep the peace between the Tuskens and the Marshal and his people because they don't really get along. So they find out a plan to fight this thing, to blow it up. It doesn't go as planned, and then Mando has to improvise. It's really cool. I liked his improvised plan of just kind of bringing the bombs and going into the creature and coming out of it. I liked it when him and the Marshal were flying up in their little jetpacks to try and fight it more. I thought it was really cool that the Sand People and the Marshal's people were teaming up. It was really nice to see them bonding after a while and whatnot. But they obviously defeat the creature. There's celebrations all around, even though many people have died. And the Marshal gives Mando the Bounty Hunter armor. Now, little backtrack. Marshal actually got this armor from the Jawas. He was actually captured, and he found this bunch of crystals things, and can't remember what the name of them are. RIP. But he did, and he traded them for the Boba Fett armor that he saw on the Jawa ship. So, Mando wanted that in return for helping them fight the creature he got it. And I like the fact that they kept Mando with keeping the armor instead of just being like the good guy and being like, hey, I'm going to give this back to you. You earned it. I like the fact that they kept it. So it kind of went through his creed and him being like, this belongs to us. This is mine. I'm not going to give this back to you. Which a lot of series do. You help out somebody and you want something, but then that character is like, no, what? No, you keep it. I really like the fact that they made Mando keep the armor. And then it just kind of leaves. And then they go away, and then there's a bald man sitting or standing, looking out at the setting suns, and he turns around and he's bald. And that is probably freaking Boba Fett. So, Boba Fett's alive somehow because where the monster was in an empty sarlacc hole. A sarlacc is what swallowed Boba Fett in episode 6. He probably killed it. We will find out next week, though. Anyway, that is a very brief synopsis of the episode. I didn't want to give too much away, but there was also enough spoilers in there that if you have not watched the episode, you would be spoiled by it. Anyway, this is probably going to be the format for these videos, just with a brief thing and my opinions throughout the episode. I thought this was a strong start for The Mandalorian Season 2, and I can't wait to see where the rest of the season goes. And yeah, I mean, I love Star Wars. I can't wait for more Star Wars. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.